there, St. Luke's. It's good to be back with you all for this midweek message. I'm sitting here on Thursday morning, July 25th, and it's a rainy day here, about to go indoor go-karting with Father Jacob and the youth group. Very excited about that. So I think this this is the type place where they recruit future F1 racers. So if you don't see me around, then you'll know that I've been recruited by Ferrari or someone to be their next F1 racer. It's unlikely. That's unlikely to happen. Nevertheless, we are excited. I'm bringing my two oldest children are just tall enough to ride in the junior karts. And so they have go-karting, duck pin bowling, axe throwing, which is fun, and pizza and video games. So, I mean, it sounds like a little taste of heaven right now. So I'm excited to get going on there. But we're also excited to sort of inaugurate the beginning of the new ministry, the sort of the continuation of our youth ministry, of our youth and family, and excited to jump in with both feet. As I mentioned in the sermon this past Sunday, which you can listen to, it's online and right here on YouTube. It's been a season of sort of nostalgia and sort of gratitude in my life, and I'm very grateful for that. Not only for the way that the Lord has brought me here to serve Him here at St. Luke's during this season in our lives together, but also just reflecting on sort of my past and the history of the ACNA and my role and our role within it and all the various things. And so just grateful for our new Archbishop for the next 10 years of our lives together in the ACNA, grateful for this church, grateful for the transition as it is continuing on now, for the team that the Lord has assembled, and just it's been spending this summer in a time of exultant gratitude. And so that's just where we are. And so you can hear more about that in the sermon, and actually in the Rector's Forum this past Sunday, I was reflecting on that a little bit too. So that is for your edification. So we don't really have a lot of announcements today, and I'm trying to see what we're looking ahead for. But the main one that I want to encourage you to do is pray for our Vacation Bible School, which starts up next week. We're so grateful for Amy Reese, our children's minister, and her team of volunteers. We're thankful for all the people that have volunteered that she's assembled. And we are expectant that the Lord will continue to use this wonderful ministry, as He has done for at least as long as I've been alive, in the life of all sorts of different churches in the summer for the children, introducing people to Jesus, deepening their relationship with Him, and otherwise encouraging and equipping the young children for the life of faith that they have in front of them. I mean, this is what, as a father, as a priest, as all the various roles and responsibilities I've been given, I look at this ministry as one of the crucial and most important things that we do, is that we introduce children as early and as often as we can to the saving and mercies of God in Christ, and the expectant hope of the resurrection that is set before them, that will forever alter their existence, this side and in heaven. And this is what is so wonderful about this, that the gift of baptism, introduces us to the end of this life from the beginning of our lives, so that we live not as those unaware of our ultimate destiny and our ultimate security in Christ for eternity. And so we're hopeful and we're expectant that the children that do not know the Lord will be introduced to Him during this Vacation Bible School, and the ones that do will be further deepened in their relationship with Him. And so pray for all of that. Pray for the volunteers, that they will be edified through the service to the Lord in this respect. Pray for safety. Pray for all of the various logistics that need to come together, and just pray, and we're so grateful, and so we're excited about about our Vacation Bible School. And so be on the lookout if you're around the campus this time next week for all of the various excitement and activity going on. To that end, we're also inviting you to put September 8th on your calendar. That's a month or so away from now. But we're going to have a ministry fair here at church on September 8th, which is a Sunday, and that's going to showcase all of the various ministries that we have going on here at St. Luke's that you have the opportunity to participate in. Many of you are already doing this, and so this won't be a news to you, but some of you may be interested in how you can get involved, whether it's through ushering or the Altar Guild, or perhaps the BMOC, the Beam Men of Christ, or the Women's Ministry, or the Flower Guild, or the choir, or the hospitality team, or there's a multitude of ways for you to get involved in the church, and there's nothing that helps you sort of participate more fully and have a little bit more sense of not just ownership, but also sort of a familial kind of feel than offering your time and your talents to one of the various ministries of the church. And so we want to encourage you to consider that. If you already are volunteering in a certain capacity, then we're so grateful for you, and we want you to continue in that ministry, or perhaps you might consider something new. But if you aren't involved, and you, we'd like for you to consider getting involved. And there's plenty of opportunities, plenty of need, and it's all to the end of further deepening your understanding and awareness and confidence of the Lord's presence and His provision in your life. Because I was mentioning to someone just the other day, if I was describing how I would understand my life, and this will be, not on my tombstone, but it could be, is to have done what Paul admonishes or encourages the church in Ephesus to do, which is to equip the saints for the work of ministry. And so what is the work of ministry other than being ready, as 1 Peter 3:15 and 16 says, with a defense for the hope that you have? So the work of ministry in the world is to be a herald of God's saving grace in Christ for the lost. That is the work of ministry. So what that looks like is for you to be able to be that herald. And in order to be that herald, to be someone who speaks with a confidence and an assurance, you have to know this for yourself, and not just intellectually, but you have to know this from the heart, from the not just from the head, but this simultaneity, the combination of both. You have to emanate this. It has to be a part of you. It have to be a proclamation from the totality of who you are. And so in order to do that, and I'm speaking to myself as much as you have to be immersed in it. We have to pray, we have to sing, we have to live, walk, we have to digest all of these wonderful truths that the Lord has revealed to us in His Son, through His Word, by His church, so that when pressed, when given the opportunity, we are able to speak, not just something intellectually, but something with our lives, to the hope that we have within us. And so I am, by God's grace, been given to lead this procession, of the saints of the church militant, as it's called, the church that are fighting the fight of faith on the road towards becoming, by God's grace, through death into resurrection, the church triumphant. But this side of heaven, as a leader of this little segment of the church militant, we will continue to offer before you all of the various tools, all of the various avenues, all of the various opportunities for you to grow in the hope that has been set before you, to be strengthened and deepened in the faith once for all delivered to the saints, so that you will stand firm in the midst of the wind and waves of life, for not only the sake of your soul, but for, as importantly, the love of neighbor, the preaching that you will do to your aged and infirm spouse, the witness that you will show to your children and your grandchildren, the confidence and the security and the peace that will emanate from you in the midst of the challenges and the trials of life that are promised to us this side of heaven, but have been redeemed and restored ultimately in the resurrection by the grace and mercy of God in Christ for the sake of the world. So again, I as an occupational hazard could start preaching, and I will stop, but I will stop preaching now, but not for good. So I hope that's good news for some of you. At any rate, those are our announcements this week. We are welcoming Kelly is going to be Father Kelly is going to be doing the Rector's Forum this Sunday, so we look forward to that. Father Jacob will be preaching, and so we will continue to be doing the work of ministry here at St. Luke's, and by God's grace, continue to uphold his unfailing love for the sake of the world in his Son, who we will continue to worship and glorify day in and day out. Okay, well, that's my little midweek message for you, a little BLT. And until we see each other again, take care and God bless.